Good evening to everyone. Welcome to two of our African Digital Summit 2025. Tamon, the CEO of Tadita Group Corporation, and I'm truly honored to be your moderator for tonight's inspiring session. Yesterday we had three powerful speakers who spoke on powerful topics on digital transformation, artificial intelligence, and Africa's economic future. But today is going to be very special. We are going to be diving into a conversation that's not just timely, but transformational. So, the theme of today's session is women, leadership, and personal branding. So, we are here to spotlight the stories, the strategies, and the strengths of African women who are breaking barriers, building global legacies, and shaping the digital revolution. So this evening, we'll hear from some of the continent's boldest voices, women who are not just participating in the digital age, but redefining it. So from leadership in tech to personal branding, we have digital visibility. They have actually proven that women are not just the future, but they are the now. So before we actually get into that, I'm just going to give a briefing about the African Digital Conference. Most of you are joining us for the very first time. So the African Digital Conference is a community where we bring together experts from different sectors to come and share with us what they have been witnessing as far as the digital space is concerned and how we can help others who have not really understood what the digital space is, and we try to see how we can incorporate them in the digital space. So we are bringing people from different walks of life, from different industries to come and share their ideas. And we are not only doing that online, we are equally doing that on site, which means that we will be having physical events which will be coming up. We've had past events in two African countries, and we are hoping to equally have physical events in other parts of the African continent. So if you're ready, please kindly type yes, yes, yes in the chat. Let's see, let's be sure that you are active, and let's get into today's theme right away. Let's get the messages coming. Let's get the messages coming in. Perfect. That's fantastic. Right. So the theme of today's event is women leadership and personal branding. And we have four powerful ladies who are going to take us on a very strong journey. They are going to highlight to us what this theme is all about. They have various topics that have been shortlisted from this powerful theme, and they are going to grace us with their knowledge, their understanding of the digital space that's from their different industries. All right, so the first speaker for today is no other person than Dr. Grace Na Ardua from Ghana. So I have a very long bio of her. So you just permit me to go through that. So Dr. Grace is a dynamic force at the intersection of healthcare, policy, and personal branding. With a strong academic foundation in pharmacy and public health, she has shaped regulatory affairs at the highest level, serving as regulatory science manager at a leading multinational pharmaceutical company. In that role, she was instrumental in securing expedited products approvals and advancing critical policy dialogues that have impacted millions. Yet, Grace's journey goes beyond regulatory framework. She is a career strategist and branding mentor, guiding early to mid-career professionals, especially women, to rise in influence and visibility. Her powerful blend of industry expert and branding acumen equips professionals with the tools to build credibility, gain stakeholders' trust, and lead with confidence in today's fast-paced digital economy. As an Elevate Africa Fellow, global speaker, and advocate for leadership development, Grace has become a beacon for women professionals aiming to break barriers and lead with purpose. Her unique ability to merge personal storytelling with strategic branding makes her a sought-after voice in conversations on gender equity, career advancement, and visibility in the workspace. Today, Grace will deliver a keynote address on women in leadership, branding for career acceleration, sharing strategies that every woman can use to amplify her impact, position herself for execution roles, and thrive in Africa's evolving leadership and digital landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Grace Ardua as she takes the stage to inspire, empower, and transform how we think about leadership and branding. Over to you, Doctor.
Right. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on the part of the world you are in. Thank you so much for the warm welcome and the introduction. Today, I don't have any PowerPoint slides. I was looking at it more being a discussion with my other panelists. But I'm happy to speak for some few minutes before questions troop in, and then my other panelists also get on board for us to do a discussion. So really, women leadership and then personal branding. Yes, we've come a very long way where women are at the helm of affairs in so many sectors. In the sector I'm in the pharmaceutical sector, and in the country I'm based in, we have women making about 90% country managers of the multinational pharmaceutical companies we have here in Ghana. So we have the likes of Pfizer, we have the likes of Roche, we have the likes of Sanofi, we have the likes of Novartis, we have the likes of Getz Pharma. And all of these multinational pharmaceutical companies are headed by strong, powerful women who know what they're about. So yes, we are at a time where we are fighting for more positions to be held by women. But I think it's also very right for us to acknowledge where we have come from and where we are at the moment. And believe you me, this woman didn't just get there because they are women and because they are so, everybody needs to have mercy on them and just drop something to them. You know, just before I got onto this call, I was telling one lady who was telling me how confused she is about taking next steps to, you know, improve her career and all that, about what she really needs to she needs to do to get onto the right track. And I told her one of the things is visibility. Visibility is a currency we all need. And in this digital age, if you are doing something and for lack of a better word, you think you are a private person, so you don't want anybody to know about it, you will just be in your private zone and nobody knows about you. So to say that there's no, should I say, we should cut that crap off, that the fake humility as women, you know, where we always want to, oh, even though I'm a pharmacist and I've done so many things, because I come into a midst of people, I just put up this whole humility. I don't want anybody to know about me. I just want to stay at the back. I don't want to talk about anything. No, project yourself. Speak about what you've done. And it doesn't make you a proud person. You are putting yourself out there to be able to attract more opportunities. You are putting yourself out there so that another girl can be inspired. There's one thing that Mrs. Ibuku Nawosika said that I love so much, that when one girl rises, we all rise. When one young girl, that young girl who told me about the challenge she was having, it's because she followed me on LinkedIn and she saw what I've been posting. She saw what I've been doing every single day. And she felt that if Grace has a family, Grace has children, Grace is doing so many things, and she's combining all these things, then I can also do it. How do I do it? I need to speak to her. I need to get close to her to be able to understand how she's doing these things. Then I can also follow suit. So, my dear ladies and even gentlemen on the call, one of the things I want us to take away from today's session is having a mentor. And if you are maybe a mid-career or a fully accomplished person, you being a mentor to somebody else, you know, we've come to a place where we don't have enough good role models or enough people to look up to, you know. So myself, I have a mentor and I'm serving as a mentor for other young girls because they need to know, they need to see that it is possible. Whatever they want to do, whatever they want to achieve in life, it is very much possible. Yes. 2, you need to create a brand for yourself. And that is where personal branding comes in. What do people say about you when you are not in the room? What will they remember you for? When your name is mentioned, when Grace Nelson is mentioned, when Anne is mentioned, when Josephine is mentioned, what do people think about you? What comes to the top of their mind? You know, that brand needs to always be on top of their mind. Somebody who is known for their way of life, their style of dressing, their fashion sense, their work ethics, whatever it is you want to be known for, perfect it and do so well about it and project it for everybody else to see. Number 3, I was telling this to my mentees yesterday when I met them, that we as women, we are very fond of burning bridges when we feel something no longer suits us, or we no longer find value, or we feel the person has hurt us so much that we don't want to engage with them or be involved with them anymore. I told them that, look, there's a way you need to, you manage conflicts or you manage disagreements such that when you need the person again, you wouldn't find it challenging. Apologies. As I said, I have a family, and at this time, my kids are a little all over the place. So you can hear some tiny voices here and there. Those are my kids. So I'm apologizing in advance. Yes. Yes. So talking about burning bridges, you need to learn as a woman. I mean, even though, yes, we are emotional and all that, we need to learn how to manage conflict and build personal relationships that is going to help our future. We are no longer in the day and age where we want to do things in silos. We want to just be by ourselves, and we don't want anybody else to come into our space because we feel, oh, women are jealous and women are each other's haters. And no, that day and age is past. I mean, I'm where I am because some powerful women took a chance on me. And you know, the very first time I had a female manager, when I started my job, I had a male manager and then he left. And then a female manager took over. And I was very skeptical because at the time, I'd heard so much about female bosses and how they are so bad and how they backbite each other and how they don't give opportunities to their subordinates. And, you know, I'd filled my mind with these negative thoughts. But again, I feel that I'm somebody who is a forward thinker. So despite the negativity, I try to give a little chance for somebody to prove themselves. So I stayed with this person, and it happened that she was the best that I have ever met. She became my manager. Within that period, I got married, I got pregnant with my first child, and I had a conversation with her. She was willing for me to start work at 10 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. because I was having morning sickness. Because over the years, I'd proven myself such that she knew that giving me 2 hours to start work later is not going to collapse the business. This woman opened doors for me. She gave me opportunities. Along the line, I also had a female mentor. She opened my eyes to other sides of healthcare practice. They are the reasons I'm in regulatory affairs today. They mention my name in places I am not. And these women have held my hands through so much. And whenever I tell my story, I always mention these women because of their impact in my life. And whenever somebody talks about a bad female boss, I'm always quick to share my story about the good female managers I've had, so that we all don't go with the mentality that, oh, all women are a particular type of way. So as women, yes, there's a tendency that we'll be emotional. Apologies, I'm saying as women. I see some men on the call. Apologies. Yes, as women, there's a tendency that, yes, our emotions might get ahead of us, and we might handle conflicts in a certain way. But we need to learn how to manage our emotions. Emotional intelligence. We need to learn interpersonal relationships, good communication skills. Look, these things are very necessary if you want to do well in the leadership space. Trust me, you cannot be a leader if nobody is following you. If you think you are a leader and you have no follower, nobody is listening to you, nobody is in alignment with what you think, then trust me, you are just taking a walk. You're not leading anybody. A leader without a follower, they say, is just taking a walk. So I think I'll just end here with this few words, and after my other panelists speak, we can have a conversation. If anybody has any question, I can answer them and all. So my speech, or my speech to set the tone is quite short. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Dr. Grace, for that powerful insight. So I believe the participants will surely have questions to ask, but kindly jot down your questions as you have the opportunity to do so towards the end of this call. So while we are calling on the next speaker, please ensure to connect with Dr. Grace. I just shared her LinkedIn profile in the chat, so you can click on the link and try to make sure you make friends with her and try to network with her as well. All right, so back to my slides. So our next speakers, which I am going to equally elaborate on their bio so you can really know who they are. We have Miss Fatuma Nmasare, we have Josephine Worlali, and we have MacAnne Obize. So we are going to kick off with Miss Fatuma. And I'm just going to give you a briefing on who she really is as well. So Ms. Fatuma is a respected branding and digital marketing expert from Kenya known for her dedication to empowering African entrepreneurs and professionals to build strong, impactful digital identities. With years of experience across multiple sectors, Fatuma has helped numerous businesses grow with their online presence, connect with their audience, and expand their market reach through strategic marketing and innovative digital solutions. As a passionate advocate for digital transformation, she worked closely with both startups and established brands to craft marketing strategies that have reflect authority, purpose, and long-term impact. My expertise spans personal branding, content marketing, social media engagements, and brand positioning, all with a focus on driving measurable growth. Fatima's deep understanding of customer behavior and Africa's evolving digital landscape has made her a trusted consultant and advisor for many organizations seeking relevance and visibility in the online space. She believes that storytelling, when paired with the right digital tools, can unlock powerful opportunities for Africa brands on a global scale. Beyond her consulting work, Fatuma is also a sought after speaker and trainer known for delivering practical insights on branding, digital marketing, and entrepreneurship at various conferences and workshops across the continent. She will join, she's actually joining the panel to share her knowledge on the power of personal branding in the digital age. Ms. Fatima, you have the floor. Thank you. Ms. Fatima, your mic is muted. Don't know if you can. Let's see. Ms. Fatima? All right. So while waiting for Ms. Fatima to adjust her technical glitches, I don't know if she's ready. All right, while waiting for Ms. Fatuma, let's move to Madame Josephine. All right, so Madame Josephine is a bold, passionate, and inspiring advocate for gender equity, youth leadership, and the empowerment of women across Africa. Known for her powerful voice and impactful work, Josephine is a dynamic force who believes in raising leaders, not followers. So she is the visionary founder of the JWA Initiative, a youth-led organization empowering young women with confidence, leadership skills, and the courage to make a difference. Her flagship program, the Bold Brilliant Conference, has transformed the lives of over 300 young women from schools and universities in Ghana and beyond, helping them lead with boldness and clarity. A first-class graduate in communication studies, Josephine combines excellence with grassroots impact. She currently serves as a member of the gender advocacy group at the All Africa Student Union, that's ASU, where she champions policy conversations on gender equality and youth inclusion. She is known for her engaging presence on national and international stages where she speaks on women's empowerment, digital innovation, youth leadership, and personal development. Josephine uses storytelling, branding, and public speaking as tools to ignite transformation, especially among young women navigating identity, leadership, and our topic today is women's empowerment and leadership, that's branding and public speaking. So, ladies and gentlemen, from Madame Josephine, except Fatuma is ready. All right, so let's welcome Madame Josephine while waiting for Ms. Fatuma. Thank you.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen all around the continent joining us today for this session of the Africa Digital Summit. And I'm greatly happy that this topic has been put together. When I saw the summit and the team that put this together, I was greatly honored, and I'm so honored to be here speaking on the topic women, leadership, and personal branding. Thank you once again for all of you joining. So the topic is very personal to me because it is such inspiring to see that in our industry today, women are taking the lead, are taking the nod, and are also shattering ceilings and breaking barriers. Women, when given opportunities, when given the spaces to prove and show what they are capable of doing, always, always deliver. And I'm so happy and I was excited to hear our keynote speaker touch on the key areas that are very important to us. So I would want to start with some of the reasons why that this topic is important. About 2 years, 3 years ago, way back on campus, I noticed that most of the students that were there didn't have the passion and lack that innovation to take upon leadership roles and just to shine, because growing up in the Ghanaian context, and I'm sure that also cuts across most of the African continents that we find ourselves, we were taught to always be in the background, not to step forward, and always try to live the imposter syndrome, as our keynote speaker said. So this actually gave me and pushed me, motivated me to come up with my initiative called the JWA Initiative. That's my name, initiative, to actually bring these girls together, try to inspire them, let them know that they're capable of doing whatever they put their mind to, equipping them with the right skills, public speaking, mentorship, confidence building, and bringing together a network of women that can give them that inspiration to do all these things that they put their mind to. So that actually led to the creation of my initiative and launching of the Bold and Brilliant Conference. And these are some of the impact that we've done. It brought about a couple of senior high schools, the university that I studied, Pentecost University, and it was great impact that did. So someone may ask, why are you saying all these things? These are some of the reasons why when women are given the right opportunity, they shine. And how can you be able to use all these things, all these facilities, all these resources together to make sure that the world becomes a better space. How are we using this digital space, this social media, AI, to empower ourselves and make ourselves as a better place? I'll just touch on a few and we will take it up from there. So as our keynote speaker said, most of the things that I would want to show light on, she spoke about it, and I'd just like to just add a few things to it so that our colleague panelists can also come and share what they have to do. So in this digital world of today, ladies, we women, we need to understand what our brand is, what we can do to effectively utilize these things. So strategic digital development is very necessary for our brand, getting it. So if you are doing all these amazing things and you are not working on your brand to make sure that you are putting everything out there, it makes the work that we are doing quite, how would I put this, not too visible. So working on your brand is very important. And how do you work on your brand? Like showing up on a daily, adding more capacity to yourself and working on your social media. When we do all these things, let's try our possible best to work on our social media presence, because if your social media presence is good, it gives you that credibility and people get to know that this is who you are and you are not a robot and you are a real person and you have all these capabilities of doing so. Utilizing your social media and leveraging on your strategic digital engagement is very, very important. Again, the imposter syndrome, as our keynote speaker said, let us try to project ourselves. Um, I think for the past weeks, I gained a milestone on LinkedIn. I finally clocked 7,000 followers, and it just dawned on me. I think that kind of imposter syndrome dawned on me, telling me, you got 7,000 followers, and so what? Why do you want the world to know? This is something that as ladies, we need to put our minds together, like work on our brains to make sure that you are able to sell yourself and put all the things that you've done. I thought about it. Should I post it or not? Should I let the whole world know or not? That was the imposter syndrome speaking. But I decided to put it out there, and it's actually encouraged others, it inspired others, and everybody was like, wow, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. When we are able to overcome some of these imposter syndrome, it also serves as an inspiration to others to actually put themselves out there. So that is very important. And when you put yourself out there, whether you are conscious or unconscious of it, then leadership steps in. When you build your brand, you automatically become a leader. People follow your footsteps and you are impacting and creating lives all across the continent. After doing all these, most of my followers from all around the continent are very impressed with all the things that we are doing. So as ladies, we have to really take this very important. I think there's more I'd want to say, but I would continue speaking about that when we finally have the panel discussion. It's been such an honor being here once again. Thank you all, and thank you.
Yes, Miss Fatuma, are you ready? We are ready for you. Thank you. So guys, I'm just going to brief you all again about Ms. Fatuma, just the summary. So Ms. Fatuma is a respected branding and digital marketing expert from Kenya, known for her dedication to empowering African entrepreneurs and professionals to build strong digital identities. With experience across multiple sectors, Fatuma has helped numerous businesses grow their online presence, connect with their audiences, and expand their market reach through strategic market innovation and innovative digital solutions. So we are waiting for you. Can you kick off? Thank you. Hello? Miss Fatuma, can you get me? All right. It's as if she can't get us. Her mic should have a problem. So let's move on to the next um, panelist. So our next panelist is no other person, Madame Anne Obize, popularly known as MacAnne, all the way from Nigeria. So she's one of our panelists, and she'll be talking on leveraging digital tools, growth, and influence. She is a powerful voice in Africa's media, communication, and youth empowerment space. As a seasoned corporate event host and communication strategist, she has brought energy, clarity, and inspiration to the global stages. From Connects in Egypt and the Africa Women's Summit in Kigali to TEDx events in Nigeria and international platforms like the AGRA in Tanzania and Nigeria's Office of the National Security Advisor, that's the ONSA. She is a Meta certified digital marketing associate and a graduate of the McKinsey Forward program. She helped brands and individuals harness communication and digital tools to build influence, drive impact, and generate income. Her storytelling expertise, combined with a deep understanding of strategic branding, makes her a go-to voice for organizations looking to grow in the digital. Beyond her professional pursuits, the passionate social entrepreneur. As a founder of Teen Connect Africa, she has empowered 1,000 teenagers across the continent through mentorship and digital training, shaping a new generation of bold thinkers, leaders, and digital citizens. Her blend of charisma, clarity, and commitment to youth and brand development has earned her recognition as one of Africa's most engaging voices in the communication and digital empowerment. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause to Madame Anne Obize as she graced the stage. Thank you.
Okay, hello everyone. Kindly confirm, I can't see the chat, but kindly confirm if you can hear me loud and clear. Tadita, please can you confirm if you can hear me?
Yes, I can get you loud and clear.
Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you so much. I am elated. I'm excited. I feel fabulous to be joining a cohort of incredible speakers from across Africa and also amazing, inspiring thought leaders who have spoken already, from the keynote speaker, Dr. Grace, to my co-panelists and the rest of you audience joining from different parts of Africa. Today, the overarching theme for today is women leadership and personal branding, but I'll be focusing majorly on leveraging digital tools for brand growth and influence. Like I have been introduced, my name is MacAnne. I'm a corporate MC. I'm also a transformational speaker, media and personal development strategist, and a social entrepreneur. What I do basically is I help individuals and organizations clarify their message, helping them boost visibility that would help them gain impact, influence, and income. So that's in a nutshell what I do. So when we talk about digital tools for brand growth and influence, it's just about the things that simply makes you, tools are like implements that makes it easy for you to build your brand across the globe. I'm going to share my story briefly. I started my personal branding and social media journey, let's say 2017. I was just a graduate from university in Nigeria. At that point, I did not have anything aside from someone who has immersed herself so much in knowledge. I had just a smartphone and I had knowledge, and I decided that I wanted to start sharing knowledge online. And guess what? I had finished school at that point, and I came back to my community. I grew up in a community. I no longer stay there, but I grew up in a community called Zuba in Worlali Area Council in FCT Abuja, Nigeria. Now, Zuba is a community that does not really have a lot of access to electricity. We did not have lights. The good roads were not all there. But that was me. I started building my brand from that point. What did I do? The first time I had finished reading, I participated in a reading challenge that made me read 25 books in 2017. And after reading 25 books within 6 months, I felt like I had a lot I wanted to share. And one day I picked up my smartphone and I spoke to the camera. And after talking to the camera, I uploaded that video on Facebook. And after uploading that video on Facebook, I started getting feedback. Oh, wow, that was inspiring. That was great. And that was how I started my first show on Facebook called The Morning Inspiration Show. So the Morning Inspiration Show kept on going. And over time, we moved on to hosting a podcast called The Talk with MacAnne podcast. I was doing all that right from a community in Abuja, Nigeria, and my podcast had gotten over 3,000 listens from 5 countries across the world. It shows how powerful your message is. It shows how you can leverage digital tools from the comfort of your home, either as a woman, as a young boy, as a young girl, to reach and make impact across the world. The first mindset I want you to embrace as someone who is listening to me today, and it's also the mindset that fueled my drive to show up, is the understanding that I am a light. The Bible says that you are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Now, imagine that you have the solution, you have the answer, you have the cure to a problem. There's somebody, the first speaker was talking about, Mrs. Ibuku talking about when you shine your light, you allow others to shine their light. That's true. There are people who are in different parts of the world. They're just waiting to see someone who's going to turn on their camera, share their content, and it would inspire them to also shine their light. So how can you so why does digital tool matter for brand growth today? The fact is we have shifted from the traditional branding to digital presence. While growing up, we all knew about the TV stations, we all knew about newspapers, and we know that today, trying to get yourself on TV or newspaper, even in your country, it's expensive. If you know that it's expensive, just say true, of course, in the comment section. It's quite expensive. Okay, so that is why at this point, if you don't have money and you have a voice, you have a message, you don't have an excuse, because digital tool is here for you to leverage. The second reason why digital tool matter for brand growth is that digital tool democratize visibility. anyone with a message and strategy can grow a global audience. It democratizes access to visibility. That means you can be in that village in Kenya, you can be in that community in Ghana, you can be in that locality in Nairobi or even in South Africa. As long as you have a message, you can reach the world. And that is what digital tool has made it easier today, because you don't need to start saving up money to go to somebody who's going to feature you on TV. If you have a smartphone, if you have data, then you can share your message with the world. Another reason why digital tool is important for brand growth today is that in today's age, visibility is credibility. No matter what you're doing, if people do not know that you can do that thing, you're not credible. So you can be so good, but people need to know you're good for them to patronize you. I also operate as a marketing professional. And one thing that drives me as a marketing professional is that you can have the best product. You can be so good, but without visibility, without marketing, without the right strategy, nobody is going to patronize that product. Whereas there's another product that is not even as good as your product, but they are leveraging digital tools, they are going on social media, they are sharing their message, and people are buying it. So today is no longer about, oh, whether I am good or not. Visibility equals to credibility. If you're not visible, I'm sorry, no one is going to work with you, okay? So let's quickly move on to the core element of digital branding. If you're following, let me know. Type in the chat box and say, I am a light. That's the first thing I want you to understand, because you are a light, and as a light, you're a solution provider. Whether you're in tech, whether you're in agriculture, you're in education, you're in media, you are in any sector, you are a light because you have solution. There's a knowledge you have that somebody else does not have. And if you're not sharing that message, if you're not introducing that concept you have, you're preventing others from experiencing it. Okay, so let's look at the core element of digital branding. The first element you should understand when you're trying to build a digital footprint, leveraging digital media, is clarity. What did I say? Type it in the chat box. I like engagement. I can't see the chat, but I want you to type in the chat box and say clarity. So what do you want to be known for? A brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So when you are not there, what do people say about you? So when you talk about MacAnne, when you search MacAnne, you are either hearing I am an MC because I host event, or a communications professional, and also a social entrepreneur. I run a mentorship program for teenagers. So the first thing is you have to gain clarity. Who are you? What do you want to be known for? If you're not clear about who you want to be known for, what you want to be known for, your voice would get mixed up in the crowd and you will not be able to stand out. So the first C is clarity, okay? What do you want to be known for? And if you're trying to clarify your message, you should start with your strengths. You should look at your experience. You should look at your passion. Those things will now help you come up with what you want to be known for. And the second thing is consistency. Now, after you've determined what you want to be known for, the next thing is you need to consistently determine what kind of visual, your voice, and what your values across different platforms. So what kind of visuals are you going to use? So like I said, when I started with video. I was making video consistently, and later on I moved on to podcasts. I have touched the different, I will still go into the tools you can use, but you need to now determine, do I want to use graphics designed to show up? Do I want to use video? Do I want to write? Do I want to use infographics to consistently deliver this message that I am known for? Okay, so that is important. Consistency. Remember, the first thing is clarity. We're looking at core element of digital branding. The first C is clarity. The second C is consistency. The third C is credibility. Okay, the more you show up, the more you share, before you know it, you begin to have results. You have authority, and you have testimonial. I know as I consistently grew in knowledge and as I kept sharing, I know in 2020, I launched a program called Personal Development Online Bootcamp. And I had people from different parts of the world. That was during COVID. They signed up for that training. And from that training, their feedback has helped me. I've written other books and people have been able to patronize it. So credibility is the third C, because as you consistently share value, the next thing you're doing is you're building credibility. And that leads us to the fourth C of the element of digital branding is connection. How are you engaging with your audience? Your audience are a key part of your digital brand, because they're the ones listening to you. So you need to learn how to build intentional connection with your audience. How do you build that connection? The first speaker talked about mentorship. So you can even reach out to mentors, people that inspire you through social media. You
All right, I think our network is breaking.
Okay, so I just had a network glitch, but I'm back. So
Okay.
can you tell me what you heard last from me? I don't know how many minutes I have more, but I can't see the comment section. But what did you hear? What did you hear? I'm just going to round off shortly. Okay, I'm looking at the chats now. Okay, so because of time, I'm just going to continue. I think I can't see the chats right now.
And I think I lost you after you mentioned connection, the fourth C.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. So can you, okay, I guess everyone can see me. So let's move on to, thank you. So thank you for that feedback. I've talked about the core element of digital branding. I talked about 4C. The first is clarity. The second is consistency, because you have to be clear of your message. You can't be talking about everything. You're going to keep people confused. The second C is consistency. The third C is credibility. By the time you consistently share value, you're building credibility. And the fourth core element is connection. You need to connect with your audience. You need to build a tribe. Some person said, oh, they have over 7,000 people on LinkedIn. That is connection already. And that connection is built by the level of consistently delivering value. They've built credibility and connection is flowing. So let's quickly go to digital tools and platform to leverage. For you, wherever you are in any part of the world, with your smartphone, I can tell you that I started my digital journey online with just a smartphone. I did not have any dime. I just had my knowledge that I wanted to share, and I had my smartphone. So the first tool you can leverage to start your digital journey, your personal branding journey on social media for content. So I'm going to talk about the content creation tool. I will talk about Canva. Canva is very important. If you don't have money right now, because we're talking of personal branding, if I want to talk about corporate branding, that means we'll talk about you employing a graphics designer, employing a marketing officer, employing a social media manager. But we're talking about personal branding. The fact is, as you grow, you'll get to a point where you can outsource this to people. But if you don't have money, I'm telling you how you can start. So Canva is an app you can download either on Google Play Store or even on Apple Store. And Canva is a tool for designing graphics or even your video. Canva already has already made templates. You can easily plug in your picture, plug in your text, and you have your graphics design. Another tool I'll talk about is CapCut for video making. You can use CapCut or InShot. I remember when I started I became a self-taught video editor. I was doing smartphone videography. I kept using it to edit my content, and it got to a point I started teaching people how to use their smartphone for video content. But all these things were self-taught, so you can learn it. So you can use CapCut, you can use InShot. I know there's Viva Video, there's Filmora, and the rest of it. So that is for video. If you feel comfortable with sharing your thoughts, your knowledge via video. I'm going to talk about, for those who are very, very interested in writing, you enjoy writing, I would say you should leverage ChatGPT and Grammarly. ChatGPT can help you come up with content. It can help you even edit, modify your written content, and Grammarly helps you check for mistakes and help you put your thoughts together. All right. Let's talk about social media platform. Social media platform, you would decide depending on the message. Remember, when I talked about the core element, I talked about clarity. So when you've defined the message you want to be known for, clarity would now help you decide which of the social media platform do I want to predominantly build my brand on. We have Facebook, we have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, which is X, we have Instagram, we have TikTok, we have what other one am I not mentioning? We have WhatsApp, we have Telegram. These are all social media platforms. So if you're more into short form content, maybe you're into beauty, lifestyle, you can use TikTok and Instagram. If you're someone who wants to establish thought leadership in a particular sector, probably health, probably, or you just want to be known as a thought leader, establish yourself as a speaker, I would say leverage LinkedIn. Okay, you can also do Facebook. A lot of people are not so active, but Facebook is still there. A lot of people have followings on Facebook, so you can leverage LinkedIn, Facebook. And then there's also YouTube. YouTube is for long form content. If you want to teach, you can use YouTube. I have a platform across all these channels, so you can choose which one. So for you not to overwhelm yourself, I would say start small and grow. Okay. And then there's also automation and analytics tools that you can just, automation means that you don't need to every day wake up every morning and you're posting your content. You can batch create your content and automate them using Buffer. There's Meta Business Suite, and they can help you schedule your content. You can schedule your content for next week today, and next week you're not there, your content goes live. All right. And there's also email marketing. Email marketing is also another way to build your brand, a personal brand. And you could use MailChimp. I've been using MailChimp since 2018, but there's still other models, ConverterKit and the rest of it. Okay. If you're going to build, I'm rounding up now. I know I've exhausted 15 minutes. And if you're building your brand online, I would say influence is not popularity. Okay, it is impact. Don't be overly focused on the numbers. A lot of times people are like, oh, people are not commenting, people are not sharing, people are not even liking my post. Don't be focused on the numbers. Be focused on impact. And over time, as you consistently give out value, you would see that value attracts people. So don't be focused on number, focus on value. And the next thing I'll say is be intentional. What do you want people to think, feel, or do after engaging with your brand? It is important. So be intentional. And then I would say embrace collaboration. Embrace collaboration. If there are people in your sector who are doing things that like you do, you can reach out to them and say, oh, I want to speak on your platform. You can be a guest on the podcast. You can also speak at webinar. You can speak at physical events if that is your forte. Okay, so in conclusion, I want you to know that either you're a woman, you're married, you're single, you're breastfeeding, you're young, you're old, you don't need to be tech savvy or famous to grow your brand. I want you to type it. Say, I don't need to be tech savvy or famous to grow my brand. I just need the vision, value, and the right tool. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Anne. Powerful presentation. I believe the participants do have a lot of questions to ask. Please, if you have your questions, just hold on to them for a moment. And let's see if we can still bring up Madam Fatuma. She's been having some difficulties in terms of her audio. So let's see if she can come up again. Madam Fatuma, can you unmute your mic? Okay, I think she's at this time. Madam Fatuma, can you get me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Can you guys
So
see
the
me?
stage, yes, can get you now
Okay.
clearly.
But can you
So
guys see
over to
me?
you. Yeah.
Because I can't see myself from the screen. I don't know how to
Now
navigate this one.
you can see your screen. You can see your screen right now, right? Perfect.
I can't see myself on the screen, but I don't know if you guys can see me.
Yeah, we can see you perfectly clear. I think everyone can see you on the bigger screen right now. So
Oh, okay. I can't see myself. Anyway, I don't know what to do for me to be able to see myself. Oh my God.
let's
What?
see.
Anyway, I don't need to see myself. I know myself. So I'm so sorry, guys. I was trying to navigate the computer. It wasn't working, so I had to switch to my hand cell. I didn't want to do that, but regardless, we are going to continue anymore. Aki, Tamon, I'm not gonna let you do the introduction over and over again. But yeah,
Okay.
I'm just going to quickly introduce myself. I'm Fatuma Ramadhan. I'm from Kenya, Mombasa. That's where the ocean is. I know a lot of people from other countries, when we talk about Kenya, they're always thinking about Nairobi. But Nairobi is for the cool kids, and Mombasa is where the ocean is. It's for the Swahili people. Yeah. So I'm a digital marketer, and I'm also a community leader. I'm actually transitioning into being a politician. Our next general elections in Kenya is going to be in 2027, so I'm going to be vying then, but story for another day. I'm also a founder of a community-based organization called Dada Yangu. It's a grassroots. Our focus is empowering girls in Kilifi, Kenya, through mentorship, menstrual health, education, and sustainable reusable pads. Yeah. And also, I'm also the kind of person who believes deeply in storytelling. I went to school and studied to be a journalist. Yeah. So I believe in storytelling, also the power of digital platforms, and obviously having a purpose on being on social media. The other speakers of the day have spoken about being on social media for a purpose, and it's something I really believe in. So I'm here. I'm going to be talking about personal branding. As someone who's built a platform on Instagram and places like TikTok. Um, yeah, I want us to be very practical, and also I'm going to talk about purpose-driven purpose-driven solution. And also, as an African woman, as a young leader and a change maker, we have the responsibility of shaping narratives. So it's really in your hands for for you to be able to put content out there about things that you actually believe in. So I'm going to talk about on I'm going to use real solutions that I believe a lot of us know, and for those that don't know, you're going to put it in the comment box, and I'm going to talk about it further. So one of the things I'm going to talk about is the digital age. The digital age has really democratized branding, and also, like in the past years, people used. It has been talked about, yeah. People needed to have a lot of money to be able to advertise, but right now you just need your cell phone and you're good to go. You just need to put yourself out there. Post on Instagram, say my name is so and so. This is what I do. If you're a journalist or if you're a digital marketer, you put yourself out there and people are going to patronize you. But a long time ago, you had to pay for advertisements either on newspapers or on TV, which was very expensive. But right now, you just need to use your voice, your values, and that's just your brand. Another thing is short attention span. Show how we short attention spans are shaping how we show up. I'm going to use myself as an example. I cannot watch something very long. I cannot watch a movie for like an hour, and I believe it's the same for a lot of people. They can't like focus for a very long time to watch something, not unless something is really interesting. So if you're putting something on social media, make sure it's interesting. Make sure the introduction is really quick. Don't prolong the introduction. Make it very interesting. Make the introduction very short, and also make the whole video very short. Don't do too much. Nowadays you would go to Instagram. Nowadays a lot of content creators are using YouTube shorts to post very short videos, Instagram reels. They're using TikTok. Yeah, they're using those platforms to post short videos, and they actually go viral. You'll watch a video for like two seconds. Okay, 2 seconds is too little. Yeah, you watch a video for like 10 seconds and you already know what's in the video. Like you quickly can know like what this influencer is talking about, or what this content creator is talking about, or what this skit is all about. So make sure when you put your content out there, it's very short, because um people don't have that patience of watching long stuff. And if you're the kind of person who doesn't like watching long stuff, also comment on the chat box. Yeah, so I gave out the solutions. You need to be clear. You need to break very long messages into shorter clips. And then another thing, you need to start strong. Yeah, don't make your introduction too long. Also, personal branding is not aesthetics. The reason why I even got the opportunity of even speaking on this platform to you guys, I don't take it for granted. For granted is because of me being able to brand myself properly. If you go to my Instagram, or if you go to my Facebook right now, or my TikTok, you'll see what I do. You'll see what I stand up for. You can figure out the kind of person I am on my page, because that's how I've branded myself. So as a person, you need to know what you stand up for, what people say about you when you're not in the room, something that have been talked about by the other three speakers over and over again. Yeah, and also what impact you consistently create in the spaces you show up in. It's so sad that maybe, like the impact I created today is that I am late. Oh, because I really wanted to speak early. I actually wanted to be number one speaker, because it's 11:09 in my country. Can you imagine? So I hope I haven't created a bad impression. Aki, you please forgive me so much. In Swahili, it's nisameheni. Yeah, also another thing, yeah, you need to ask yourself, what problem do I solve? Don't be on a social media platform being a troll and making other people's lives miserable. You need to know the purpose as to why you have that Instagram account, or that Facebook, or that TikTok account. Don't be on Instagram as a pseudo account. That's very wrong. I don't think that's what social media was created for. So also you ask yourself, who do I serve, and how do I want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered as a troll? Do you want to be remembered as a bully, or someone who's always fat shaming people, and someone who does that thing? I see it so many times. It's called transphobia. Don't be that kind of a person. So ask yourself, what problem do I solve in this social media platform? How do I want to be remembered? And how do I serve? To mean, how do you serve your country as a person? How do you serve your community? You remember last year when held a countrywide protest, Kenyans held a countrywide protest to tell the president of our country, if you want the finance bill to be accepted in the new financial year, then you need to leave. You need to leave the presidency. You need to go right now. And they were like, Ruto must go, Ruto must go. I know a lot of people in the world saw it. So the reason as to why that was possible is because people knew what they served. They were on social media for a reason, because that thing really started on Twitter. The fire started little on Twitter, and then it went to Instagram and other social media platforms, and then it became a big thing. And when people were actually going on the road on the 25th of June, everyone in the country was going on the road. So it really shook the presidency to a point that the president came on Twitter Spaces and spoke to his people. I remember a lot of people tuned in that day. A lot of people who know what Twitter is, and who have smartphones, what they are speaking to the president that day. It's because people in my country, I believe a good percentage of us young people have realized who we serve, and that's exactly what we are doing. So You make sure you use your Instagram for good purpose. I use my Instagram for good purpose. If I don't have water in my community, I go on Instagram and tag my governor or my area MP or my member of county assembly. I'm like, hey, we don't have water in this area. I'm not abusing anybody. I'm not using profanities or anything. I'm just relaying the information. And then after a few hours or after a day, we have water back. So use your social media for the right things. Also, another thing, yeah, you need to be able to lead. It's leading through your brand. For me personally, branding is not even about visibility, because sometimes I'll post something and I would get so much likes, and then sometimes I would post something and like I would say like the insights as alone that specifically post. So for me, personal branding is not just visibility. It's about integrity and legacy. I have a brand called I Need Kenya. I crochet pieces. I was actually crocheting something while listening to the other speakers. So with the business that I run, yeah, some people will patronize me because they know me as a person, they've met me before, or they know me on social media. They know, oh, okay, I can give this person my number because they look like an honest person. So even you, when you're on social media, make sure you are an you are a person who has integrity. And again, I said I'm running for office come 2027. So that means everything I post, I say or support today, it really is going to reflect in 2027. That one I know. So there's going to be a lot of public scrutiny and all that. So whether you are in politics, you're in business, or you're in tech, or art, or anything you do, some people are content creators, some people are just fans, they like to be on social media to say, oh my god, Jukes and Priscilla Ojo are married, cheers. Other people, they just like to be on social other people want to see what's happening. There's the Met Gala that happened last night, they want to follow up on that. Just make sure your brand is your reputation. And I believe everyone should start creating a brand. A lot of people say, oh, I don't need to create a brand. But you as a person, you're a brand by itself. You don't need to be a journalist, or you don't need to be a politician, or you can be a teacher. You can be a teacher, literally teaching kids in in your local primary school. But also, I see people in my country advertising for private tutors. They want private teachers. You could, if you've created a page for yourself where you offer private tutoring, then that you get that job. You get that job real quick. So don't just be on social media saying, "Oh, I don't need public social media because I'm not a celebrity." No, you don't have to be a celebrity. Just because you're on this earth, you are a brand by yourself. You just need to know what your strengths are. Another thing I'm going to talk about is the mistakes to avoid in the digital age. Yeah? So let's briefly talk about some common mistakes that we make, especially as young people online. I'm very passionate about young people. I work with young people every day. They make me so happy. We've changed a lot over the years. And our parents look at us sometimes and they're like, these people, they're just a powerhouse. Anyway, another thing is chasing being viral over value. It's very tempting to post what's trending, but what will build your brand long term? Yeah, I know a lot of people who would rather they'll post a content, something that really aligns with them, and then a sound comes up, and because it's the sound that is trending in TikTok at that time, you want to use that sound because you want to get views. Don't do that. You need to stay in your, it's called a niche. You need to stay in your niche. If you're doing fashion content, you stay doing that. If you're doing political commentary or what, because I do a lot of commentary on my TikTok page, you need to stay doing that. Don't go using sounds like what the hell, what the hell, what the hell, or some profane songs just because you want to go viral. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Also, inconsistency. A lot of people are tired, overwhelmed. They don't like posting every day. But you need to post. You need to post. For people to see your content, you need to post. In my life, I know a lot of people, so I'm not going to be using myself as an example. I know a lot of people, all the way from primary school to high school. I know a lot of people, so I'm not going to use myself as an example. But um, when you post a picture today, you put it on Instagram. Your Instagram is not private. You are public, but only 20 people, or maybe only 50 people like that picture. Can you imagine in a day if you saw 50 people every day? That would be so overwhelming. Or if you had to say hi to 50 people in a day, and you're not a teacher. Okay, teachers, teachers see many people every day. I'm just saying, imagine if you had to see 50 people every day, that would be so overwhelming. So if 50 people liked your picture, it's because 50 people are interested in what you're posting online. So post every day. Today it's gonna be 50, tomorrow it's going to be 100, the other day 150, because the algorithm is going to be pushing your content since your content is already out there. So do not say, oh, there's a lot of people who don't like hearing themselves speak. They'll record a voice note and then listen to it and then say, oh, I don't want to hear myself speak. Or they'll just record and send without listening because they don't like to hear themselves speak. They say it's cringe. No, your voice is not cringe. Your voice is money. Your voice is power. Use it for the right purposes. Yeah, put your content out there. You never know who's watching. I'm talking right now without even looking at my face. It's so weird. Anyway. Also, not being intentional. Your audience is always watching, even when you think they are not. I already spoke about that. And then another thing, yeah, forgetting your digital footprint matters. The internet never forgets. Future employees, funders, and even voters will Google you. Ah, man. This one applies for me big time. Sometimes, yeah, especially I'm going to use Twitter as an example. And I'm going to use Kenyans on Twitter as an example. Kenyans on Twitter can be very brutal. For people who are on Twitter and they have experienced Kenyans on Twitter, they know how brutal they are. Kenyans on Twitter will fight South Africans tomorrow and they will win. Kenyans on Twitter will start that thing, Kenya versus Ghana, and they will win because they're very brutal. They go in, they never rest, they dig deeper because obviously we are dealing with unemployment in our country. Kenyans on Twitter are so brutal. So sometimes they will say extremely mean things to you without even knowing you, without ever meeting you, and they will make it look like you actually did that thing they're saying you're doing. So as a human being, you'll want to reply to them. And it's called matching energies. That's what we say, yeah? We want to match energies. You cannot match energies when you're a brand. You cannot. Sometimes you just look at a person, they're calling you a prostitute. You want to tell them the prostitute is your mother, but then you start saying, "Oh my God, I'm a brand. I cannot do that." So now you stop. So on the other hand, you feel like, "Oh, my counterpart has won," but they haven't. You have won because if you actually throw that word back to them, someone is gonna see it, and then they're going to say, "Oh, this person is not good for this job," or "I'm not." Sometimes it's other bigger brands wanting to give you a job, maybe to advertise, or they want to use your face, or maybe you want to go into pageantry, like modeling, or you want to go and be a politician like me. People have googled, you've said all these things, you've gotten into tribal wars, and you've said very mean things about other people's tribes. Now you are not eligible for that position. So be very careful about the things that you do. Some people have even 3 accounts just to bully other people, and then one day they forget they use their main account to bully someone. Now there's screenshots everywhere of you being phobic towards another person or being transphobic. It won't be a good scene, I'm telling you. I'm going to talk about actionable takeaways. Okay, so here is what I want you guys to remember. If you have social media, whether it's Facebook, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, I want you guys tonight to go and look at your Instagram and start defining your brand. If you are into the corporate world, sorry guys, I need to adjust. If you're in the corporate world, maybe for example you're working for MTN. I think MTN is more popular than Safaricom. I'm not sure. But if you're working for MTN, you need to a lot of people don't like to connect with their co-workers on social media spaces, but you shouldn't have anything to worry about, because right now you can even post your private stories for close friends only. Like you can literally select, these are the people I want them to see my stories every day, so I'm going to post in my close stories, and then just keep your social media open for everyone to see. That way you can be able to get gigs if that's what you're interested in. So if you you are a marketer, you go there and say, I'm a marketer. If you're a student, there is a place for students. If you are a community, some people are even communities, they offer advice, they social media, sometimes some people offer friendship on social media. You put yourself out there. You need to define yourself what you want to be on social media for. Another thing is, yeah, be intentional online. Every post should reflect who you are becoming. Yes. Also, create short, high value content, teach, inspire, entertain quickly and clearly. And I know so many, creators from West Africa, but their names have, I've forgotten their names. I know Sabinos and Sabinos. I know Sabinos. I know this other guy called okay, his name has gone. But Sabinos is one of the people I watch. I used to watch his videos so much while I was in campus back in 2017. Like I would watch like so many of his videos on Facebook because they were so interesting and they were so funny. So I know also another creator, but the name's MacAngel Comedy, and Emanuela. I also used to watch that guy because his content was very short and very entertaining. So you get to see the message real quick and understand what the video is about. So I think those are the people I would say to be emulated. Also, stay consistent. Trust is built through showing up regularly. I've had I Need Kenya, which is the crocheting brand, for 8 years right now, and I have people ordering from all over the world because I have my personal social media out there. So before someone gives me their money, they can look at this person and they're like, oh, okay, this looks like a person who has a lot to lose. So if I give them my money, if it's $70 and they don't deliver, then if I expose them on social media, they wouldn't want to be put in that position. So you know what? I'm sure this person is going to deliver. Another thing is lead with impact, not ego. Your brand should make people feel something and move them into action. Your brand shouldn't make people feel like shit. Your brand should make people feel good every day and empowered, and you should be able to, you know, lead with impact. I'm going to close. I don't know if I have spoken too much. I hope not. I'm going to close, but what I'm going to leave you guys with is your personal brand is your legacy in real time. It's not just what you post, it's what people remember about you. So you should own it, you should protect it, and you should use your brand to uplift other people. So thank you so much, guys. I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you so much, Ms. Fatuma, for that wonderful. I wouldn't say it was a presentation, I would say it's a talk and a very inspired one. So I want everyone to go to the chat area and you type in Fatuma for 2027. Let's do that right away. Everybody, get to the chat right now and you type Fatuma for 2027.
Thank
Everybody,
you.
let's get those messages coming in. Everyone, Fatuma for 2027. Before we get to the Q&A, let's have those messages coming in, please. All right, so I'm going to speakers to the spotlight. Post. All right, perfect. So that's my own question. Get to the attendees. I'm going to ask a few questions to the speakers. My first question is directed to Ms. Josephine. So my question goes thus. So in your experience, how does mastering public speaking directly impact a woman's confidence and career opportunities?
Thank you so much for that question. Can I get the question again?
The question goes on, in your experience, how does mastering public speaking, how can it directly impact a woman's confidence and career opportunities?
Okay. So public speaking is a very important tool that I believe that every woman aspiring to get and achieve their goals should be able to harness, because how would you be able to communicate? How would you be able to tell the world that this is the vision that you have, this is the plans that you have? In my experience, I think one time way back in class, we were having a class and my lecturer asked a question and I knew the answer, but this was before I found my purpose and vision. And I think that even also led to me actually building upon my public speaking and all that. I knew the answer, but because I was shy, because I was scared I was going to make a mistake, I didn't speak up. Then later on, after class, I was telling my friends, "Oh, I knew this answer. This was that. This was this." And my lecturer overheard me having that conversation, and he told me that, "Why didn't you speak up?" And I told him that I was scared. I was scared maybe I was going to make a mistake or something. And he just spoke to me and told me that you should be able to speak up regardless. And as ladies, as those women that are seeking to put out change over there, we need to really harness our public speaking. You don't have to be perfect. I make mistakes. I still make mistakes all the time, but believing in yourself and knowing what you want to do, being super intentional about what you want to do would make you speak out. So public speaking is a very important tool when utilized well, can actually create the impact that we are looking at. And when you're also good about public speaking, it also gives you that kind of brand that we are all looking out for. Your public speaking is going to show in your personal, in your physical, in your digital presence. So your social media is going to drive your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your Facebook, your interactions with people. Public speaking is very, very important. It's a good tool, and I would advise everyone out there to actually work on it. You don't need to have so much money to start. You can start in front of the mirror, speak, pick a random topic that you like, speak about it, and you can also record yourself so that after you're done, you can note down some of the things. I think there's three viewpoints you need to note down when you're looking into the mirror and you record yourself. So you can, when you're done recording that video, you mute it and look at your facial expressions and see how you are using your hands to measure and see how are you doing. Are you smiling to the camera? How are people perceiving all that? Again, when you're done, you also put down, you play the audio only. You play the audio only and realize if you're using a lot of filler words or if you're coming out clear when you're having conversation. I'm sure if you use these tips in your public speaking journey, it will be very good to also add to your brand and make that impact out there. I hope this answers your question.
Yes, thank you very much for that. So my second goes to Dr. Grace. So Dr. Grace, what do you believe is the biggest barrier to African women achieving influence in digital space, in the digital spaces today? And how can they actually overcome this?
All right,
I will
thank
take the
you.
question again.
Okay,
So
please, Joe.
what do you believe is the biggest barrier to African women achieving influence in the digital space today? And what can they do to overcome this?
Okay. So I think it's the thought that somebody is always better than we are. So, recently I saw a post on Instagram where the person was asking, have you ever been in a meeting where somebody is speaking and you are sitting there listening to the person and feel that, what this person is saying, I think I can even do it better, or I think I know much more about it. The difference between you and that person is that that person raised their hand to talk about what they know. And you who is so knowledgeable, you who is so powerful, you who is so brilliant, you who is so full of wisdom, decided to keep quiet because you thought every other person around you is better than you are. So you see, there's this fear holding us back. I don't know if it's imposter syndrome or it's how we are socialized as women to be humble, to talk in a certain way, to, there's this word trending, to be demure, to be graceful, to be all that, and it holds us back from reaching our full potential. I've had one experience myself where I became a friend to a certain lady who was following me on LinkedIn. And at the point where we could actually have conversations, she opened up to me to tell me that, all those things you've been posting on LinkedIn, I thought to myself that I can actually do these things. So I've been whenever I see your post, I go like, this thing, I can do it. So I asked her, what is preventing you from doing it? And when you do it, what is preventing you from showing it? Today, we've learned so many things here. We've learned that visibility is a currency. Your visibility shows your credibility. Again, for those who may not have joined, I was telling those who joined earlier that I was speaking to a younger professional today, and she was asking me how I'm able to be at so many places and do so many things at the same time. And I told her that she doesn't know me. She doesn't know what goes on in my house. She's asking me based on what she's seen on my LinkedIn. She's asking me based on what she's seen on my social media. Because I'm projecting myself out there. You see me doing it. You see me talking at places. You see me attending events. You see me engaging, talking to every other person you would wish to talk to. But if you are doing it and you're hiding it in your room in the name of, I am a private person, you continue to be a private person. Nobody knows about you. And nobody is going to hand down success to you. Nobody owes you any opportunity. You grab it yourself. And how do you grab it? You position yourself to be seen so that when it's being handed over to you, there's a reason it's being handed over to you. What are people saying about you? There's something called social proof. What do people know about you? What can they say? What can they testify about you for an opportunity to be given to you? You can be so good, but all you do is hidden somewhere. I wouldn't know about it. I'm not going to ask you about it. If I want a speaker, if I want an MC and I go on Instagram and I see MacAnne, I've seen it. I've seen her work. She's the one I'm going to give it to. I'm not going to now go into everybody's DM to ask, okay, are you an MC? What do you do? Send me your work. That's so stressful. I don't want to do that. I want to work with somebody whose work is known. I want to work with somebody who is out there. So ladies, stop holding yourself back. You are better than you think you are. And stop thinking that other person you are seeing on social media has it all figured out. I think that's one question the lady also asked me when I was speaking to her. How do I have it all figured out? I don't have it all figured out. I am only posting what I want you to see on social media. All right. As some of you heard when I started speaking earlier, you saw my kids running around. But tomorrow, if I'm posting on social media, I may not post that aspect of my kids running around and they making noise and all that. I'm showing you what I want you to see. You need to be visible, my dear ladies. Put yourself out there. Take up opportunities because you can. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that insight. All right, so my next question goes to Anne for this. So you made mention of so many digital tools. What are the top 2 or 3 digital tools or platforms you recommend to a woman starting out in building her online presence, and why?
Okay, so you're asking the top 2 tools I would recommend to a woman wanting to build her digital presence and why, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the first tool it's dicey because if I'm to know the woman, depending on what she wants to project, will determine what tool I'll recommend. So let's say this person, I'm going to give 2 scenarios. If one person is someone who is not yet confident enough to put out her face, there are people who know what they want to do, but they are not always comfortable with their faces out there. I'll recommend this person to, the platform I would recommend is LinkedIn or Facebook. And I would recommend that you also learn how to use Canva. Even now, Canva has a lot of integration with AI where we can even with the AI tools now, you can digitally generate graphics design that are in line with what you want to talk about without putting your picture or putting your face out there. So the platform I would say is use a text-based platform. For social media, I would say LinkedIn, Facebook. You can also use Medium. Medium is a writing platform. So you don't have to say, oh, I need to have a blog. Go to medium.com. Medium, you can post your articles, you can post your thoughts, you can post inspirations if you enjoy writing. And because you want to use a picture to capture the attention, because if you're posting something online and picture has a way of attracting engagement. So I would say learn Canva or use different AI tools that can generate image. So that is for someone who is into writing. If you're someone who enjoys talking, you are okay with getting in front of the camera. I'd say learn CapCut. CapCut is a video editing tool. You can learn it. All you have to do is, and there are basic things you need to do. Have the message you want to share. So you already have clarity about your message, and all you have to do is your camera. Clean the lens of your camera. You can use the back camera or the front camera, but I would recommend the back camera because it's sharper than the front camera. So once you use the back camera, if you have someone to help you, you put it on, share your message, make it succinct like it should be direct. Don't make it too lengthy. And then after shooting your video in your camera, put it on CapCut. With CapCut, you can remove where you make mistakes, maybe your M's and you can, the places where you pause, you're trying to remember, you can take that off. You can now transcribe it and upload on social media. For social media platform, I would recommend you use Instagram, TikTok, a lot of videos, but you can also post your videos on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. So I hope this helps. So I talked about Canva for graphics design. If you're not comfortable putting your pictures out there, you can design a graphics, either a text graphics, an infographics, or even an AI generated graphics that goes in attachment with your written content. And this content can be shared on Facebook, LinkedIn, or if you want to do Medium, you can post on Medium. For video, I said use CapCut. CapCut is a video editing tool, even though it has the pro version where you can now use other features. So after you edit your video, I would say post on Instagram, TikTok. You can also post on LinkedIn and Facebook as well. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for that insight. Right. So my next question goes to Madam Fatuma. But before that, you made mention of one point, which is that before posting content on social media platform, make sure you are posting that content for longevity rather than following trend. So the question which I have for you is, what's one mistake? Just give us one mistake which you've actually seen women who are trying to build their personal brand. What mistakes have you seen them doing, and how can they avoid them?
Um, Sometimes have you ever been on TikTok and seen someone post a video and you find that video very cringy to a point when you look at the comment section, people are telling you, hey, a video from your draft has posted itself, because like it's so cringy to a point like you even think that the video has posted itself, or probably that person hasn't posted it themselves. It's because most cringy, in my opinion, videos always trend a lot. So you might post something like that and then you sleep and then wake up in the morning, you had like 100 followers, and then boom, you have so many followers. Now you don't want to remove that video because it's your most viral video. I was in the same situation. I posted one video, I went to bed, I had 400 followers on TikTok. I wake up in the next morning, I had 8,000. 8,000. My phone was buzzing with comments, and so many people had followed me in one night. And for a very long time, I didn't want to post that video because I don't want to remove that video, because that video had gotten up to 5.5 million views, and I just didn't want to remove it because I knew if I removed it, then my likes on TikTok will go down. So the reason as to why I say you need to post something, not chasing just being viral, but something that is longevity, is because when you're posting something online, for instance, my content is about, I'm a woman, I'm an African woman, and my content is talking about women's health, or I'm talking about successful marriages. You need to stick into that, because there's people, the 10 people that are following you because you're a marriage advisor. They're not following you because they think you want to go viral or what. So stick into that content. One day, people are going to find your content extremely good, and they're going to make you very popular. You're going to be surprised. I think also there's this woman who's called Shira 7. I'm not sure if she's from the US or from the Europe, but she went she wasn't on TikTok, but her clips were being removed from YouTube and being posted on TikTok. And then because of that, she decided to come and open her own TikTok account, because if someone is using her videos to put them on TikTok, she might as well come and make money from that. And she blew up, but because she was already popular. What I'm saying is stay to your niche. Do not divert because people are now talking on TikTok. Now you want to talk, all of a sudden you've forgotten you're a marriage counselor. Or just because people are dancing on TikTok, you're like, oh, I've been posting this content over and over again and it hasn't been blowing up. So I'm gonna stick into dancing on TikTok because that's what is going to blow up. No, stay in your niche, find your niche and stick there. People who are following you, there are 100 people that are following for a reason. It's because they like your content. And the 100 people, you need to tell the 100 people to share your videos and comments, and send comments on your videos, because a lot of people don't know, by leaving comments and by sharing those videos or by liking, it really helps with catapulting that video. So just keep on reminding your followers to always share your content to family and friends, family, friends, and close friends, yeah, and colleagues. Remember to always tell your followers to share. Every time you finish your video, say, please share my video if you find it interesting, so that more people can follow me if they find my videos interesting. That's it.
Thank you so much for that insight as far as the question is concerned. So we're going to take 3 questions from the audience. I'm just going to go through the chat. If you have a question, if you feel like speaking, just raise up your hand. I'm going to unmute your mic. You ask your question and you direct it to a specific speaker, or you can ask the question and any speaker can answer. Okay, so we are going to take 3 questions only. So I'm going through the chat. While going through the chat, if you have a question, feel free to raise up your hand and I'm going to unmute your mic and give you the opportunity to ask your question. All right, so we have Basse. Let me unmute your mic. Basse, you can go ahead to ask your question. You can unmute your mic and you ask your question.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening.
Amazing. My name is Basi Favor, and today's class was exceptional. I got a lot of value. I want to ask, starting out my journey as a digital marketer, how do I start? Like, where do I start from? Especially for someone that wants to build a firm and getting the basic knowledge, and then this training also. How do I get started with this journey?
Okay, so I think any speaker can answer. Anne, can you help us with that? I think you.
Can you check the question again?
All right,
She
I
was.
will.
Let me help her. She was asking that as someone who wants to begin a career probably in digital marketing or to learn digital marketing, where can she begin? What are the foundations? What can she do to get into the field of digital marketing?
Oh, okay, all right. That's a great question. So, to get into the field of digital marketing, it's quite broad. Digital marketing encompasses content creation, it encompasses social media management, and also advertising. Okay, so I would say if you're starting up, because I also got into digital marketing, self-taught before I got to the point of getting certification from Meta Digital certification. Yeah. So I would say is first of all to get the knowledge. Knowledge is important. Okay. So if you want to choose that you want to focus on content creation, then you should master the content creation tools. Do you want to focus on Canva? Or do you want to focus on designing? Do you want to get into video editing? And also, so if you want to focus on content creation, you should master, you can have a bit of it, because the more tools, the more skills you have, the more profitable you would be, because at the beginning time, most people may not be able to say, oh, I want to get a content creator, or I want to get a social media manager, I want to get an ad strategist. They might want someone who has a bit of holistic idea on content creation, social media management, and all that. So I'd say start with getting the knowledge, learn a bit of how to edit videos, basic editing, learn how to create content, come up with content calendar, how to do educative content, awareness content, and informative content. So a bit of that. And then learn how to manage social media channels, because most people would say a lot of professionals are busy. They want people who would manage their social media platform. So when you're managing the platform, you're meant to create content, you're meant to also advertise either their personal brand, their product or service. So you should learn how to create content around the said brand, and then learn how to use scheduling tools. Meta has the way where you can schedule posts and put it up there. You can also use Buffer, where you can just schedule posts and put it up there. And then I would also say learn email marketing. For email marketing, there's MailChimp, there's ConverterKit. Learn that, and then you can now move on to Facebook ad, social media ad, but take it one step at a time. Okay, you can decide to take one and master it. There are people who do trainings, that their social media management training. I know there's someone I know who does a business of social media marketing training on Facebook, I mean on Instagram. Bossem Nancy is her name. So you can sign up for those training, and it will just give you the direct head start to get into digital marketing a bit, but that's focused on social media marketing. Okay, then you can then progress from that. If you take the training, it will shorten the curve for you. But if you don't have the money, I would say you can self-train yourself, use YouTube, use ChatGPT, ask questions, and it will give you the response. And then most importantly, start building your own personal brand, because what you can do for yourself, it shows the track record that if you can do it for yourself, you can export that to someone else as a service and you can get paid. And by the time you already know one or two of the skills, you can start freelancing. There are platforms for freelancing. There's Fiverr, there's Upwork. There are so many other ones, but I know Fiverr. I know when I was doing video editing, I was very active on Fiverr. I remember getting a gig then in 2020 during COVID, because I saw my profile on Fiverr, and I said, oh, video editing, but I was doing smartphone videography. This was smartphone. I was just using my smartphone. I think someone paid me $8 or thereabouts to just edit an advert video for their company. I don't even know this person. I think it's somewhere in the UK. I'm here in Nigeria. I did the job. I got paid, and that was just it. So I'd say start small, practice it with your personal brand, put your footprint out there, and I keep telling people that you can slide into people's DM and say, "Oh, this is what I do. I can assist you with that." And with time, you begin to get traction. But keep seeking knowledge and keep growing.
All right, thank you very much for that response. Guys, we have just 8 minutes left to end the session, so we're going to be very quick with the questions. So we will take two more, but please, those answering should be about it. So we have the next question is coming from Kisito. Your mic is on. You can ask your question.
Okay, good
Kindly
evening.
unmute your mic and ask your question.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Good evening. Okay,
clear.
good evening, everybody. My name is Kizito. I'm connecting from Nigeria. Now, my question, I'm trying to direct the question relating to what we are talking about, women and all that. In Africa, when a woman is successful, there is always a storyline attached to this story that, oh, she gets a connection from this person, or she's clicking to this or that. Now, many successful people we saw on social media, these people are being name tagged and called all sorts of names. And I'm seeing great women here talking about their businesses and their foundation, how they come up with one or two things. Please, can you tell us what is your secret of overcoming this particular challenge? Because I have friends, female friends, that all of a sudden they just shut down their social media and begin to do something else because of side talks. That's
Okay. I think I'll go first. Maybe my other ladies can add on. I think, I mean, in this era, if you really want to move on, I mean, not even just as a woman, but as a human being, if you are going to listen to names people are going to call you, trust me, you are not going to move anywhere. There's this lady I follow on Facebook, and she says something that I love so much, that the era of calling a woman a prostitute for her to be down is over. I mean, you think I'm a prostitute? I've moved on. My prostitution has given me something. What have you gained out of you insulting me? You know, that era is way over. And especially in where I live, commercial drivers, when they see a woman driving a big car and you refuse to let them cross you, you know, they just, oh, get away from there, prostitute. You know, they try to make you feel bad. I've got to a point where it doesn't even, like, when you even call me a prostitute, it even gingers me the more that, I need to work hard to get a bigger car, you know? So So you need to close your mind to certain things if you really want to move on. Trust me, those ladies who are shutting down there, look, when you shut it down, they've won. You need to have that in your mind. Once you shut down that your social media handle because somebody comes and direct to insult you, the person has won. It's your own social media account. Block them. Delete the comment. Why are you entertaining your own data, your own phone? Why are you entertaining that? I wouldn't do that. You know, I had one experience where after I delivered, one day I posted my picture and then somebody came under to come and comment in my Ghanaian language. When somebody has put on weight, they call them obolo. And the person came under my comment to type obolo. Under my own picture, my own phone, my own data. That's your end. That's it. We are done. And I move on. So, ladies, you need to get to that level where some of these comments don't distract you. Focus on where you're going. Focus on what you want to achieve. It's okay to cry. Sometimes you might be down, but don't let those people see that you're down. When they see it's they've won. My dear ladies, come home, come and cry. After that, wipe the tears. Go back tomorrow, post again. They won't have the guts to come and type something under your post. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that. I think we don't have any other hands. So please, before we
I think I
end,
see a
make sure
question
you
in the
connect with
chat.
all. Okay, let me see.
Akosia Bando.
Okay. There's a question to Dr. Grace, that are there evidence-based strategies or frameworks specifically designed to help individuals overcome shyness and fear in public speaking and social interactions?
Evidence-based strategies. I don't know of any published paper or scientific, work done to help individuals overcome shyness. I know of things that have worked for people and worked for worked for me and worked for the people around me. You don't need to start by going to stand in front of an audience of 5,000 people. You start from your circles, among your family, in your church, if you're a Christian or Muslim. You want to give a talk on anything, your area of expertise, you're a marketer, you do creative arts, you do anything. You start from where you are and then you build on it gradually. So I had this incident where I'm part of a group that's mentoring some young ladies, and I happened to attend an event, and one young lady was seated by me, and she kept smiling. She wasn't saying anything to me, but I look at her and she's smiling. I look at her and I tell, oh, can you please pass me this? And she passes it on and she's smiling. I ask her, is she okay? Why does she keep smiling? She says, oh, I'm in that mentorship program, which you are a mentor. I'm like, and you would have missed such a great opportunity, because a lot of the ladies that don't know, it's virtual. And we happen to be in that same space where you are seeing me face to face. And all you want to do is just to smile and get up and go. See the opportunity she would have missed if I also hadn't asked her, is she okay? And why she keeps smiling without saying anything. So you need to understand that not speaking up is going to cost you some opportunities. And once you have that at the back of your mind, trust me, ladies, something within you will force you to speak up. Something within you will push you to make a move. So my dear, start from where you are, your circles, your family. I mean, if you can speak to your parents, or if you have children, your children, or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, just see everybody else as maybe a group of boyfriends, or for lack of a better word, family members, or any other person. Just have that at the back of your mind, and always ask yourself, one thing I ask myself, that what's the worst that can happen? I'm not going to faint in front of the crowd. So what is the worst, that can happen? Nobody is going to shout at you to go and sit down. So just the world is your oyster. Just take it all on and you will do great. I don't know if anybody has something more to add.
Yeah, I've been dying to speak. So I wanted to add something. Anne, on Anne's question, when Basi was asking on how to connect, she talked about she wants to be famous, like she wants to get into digital marketing with the idea of, I want my content to shoot and I want to be famous. I think one of the things she needs to do this week, she needs to do a video introducing herself, saying, hi, my name is Basi, I'm a student, or I'm a single mother, or I'm a mom of two, or I'm a wife. Introduce yourself and then say, I'm a new digital marketer. I want to get into the field. If you are a woman who does digital marketing, or you are into content creation, please send me a DM so we can connect. If you have events that are into the digital marketing space, please invite me. I would love to come. Like, put it out there, and you'll see people will actually DM you and invite you to events. By going to those events, make sure one of the things that you need to have is a quality camera or a quality phone to take good pictures. And every video is actually content. Shoot. You will put those things, all those videos into a video, and you will be able to put it out there. And trust me, people are going to like it. But do a video, post it on Instagram, on TikTok, everywhere. Put it on all social media platforms, introducing yourself. And Tell them also, if you have a job for me, I'm also taking, I'm also taking gigs about payment. We are going to talk about payment. Just put it out there, a video. And then for the second question, his name is Kizito. Kizito, I remember when I had signed up on social media from 2014 after secondary school, and I was on social media for 5 years, and nobody had called me a prostitute. In Swahili, is malaya. I was feeling so bad. I was like, oh, I haven't made it. Nobody, because I knew if someone calls me a prostitute like this, that's it for me. I have blown out. So I waited. Nobody is calling me a prostitute. I waited. And then last year, somebody called me a prostitute. I was like, yeah, I've made it. Someone called me a prostitute on Twitter, and I was like, that was it. I knew I've made it from that time. And from that time, I started looking myself as a big shot. I'm the kind of someone who looks at myself as a big shot. Even if this meat is very big, trust me, I'm gonna put my teeth inside it. Because even if it chokes me, I'm still gonna swallow it. So from then, if you're a woman and nobody has called you a prostitute ever, not a family member, not a person on social media, not friends, nobody has told you you are selling your body for money, you have a long way to go. You haven't made it. I'm telling you, you haven't made it. Another thing, the last thing is someone mentioned they're from Mombasa. I'm really happy that people from Mombasa have actually joined. I posted my number there. If you really want to connect with me, I might not have time to say hi and hey because my messages are extremely overwhelming, but please feel free to text me, whether on Instagram or on LinkedIn. Anywhere, we will stay connected. And with that, I have to go. It's past midnight in my country. I love you so much, guys. May the good Lord protect you guys.
Thank you so much for that. And guys, if there are any other questions, please feel free to ask in the forum where we have the discussion forum. There's a discussion forum which will be open immediately after this. It will be open for approximately 2 hours. So if you're not yet in that forum, we're going to share the link again in the main forum where you're going to ask your questions. I think there are some speakers there. And we are going to include the speakers of today in the forum as well. So maybe if any question is addressed to them, whenever they have time, they can come back and they are going to answer the question. Thank you all so much for being here right up to this moment. And while we end the session, make sure you connect with all the speakers. I shared the links initially. We are going to share the links again in the discussion forum and in the main forum as well. And equally, make sure you fill the attendance sheet, which I've just shared right now. So once you fill the form, you can exit the forum. We are going to still leave the chat open. We're going to stop the recorded session and we are going to leave the live open for approximately 10 to 15 minutes for you to fill the attendance sheet. Okay, so thank you all once again. I want to thank the speakers in a very special way for honoring the invitation and making sure that they are here right up to this time. I know it's very late wherever you're connecting from, and I really want to appreciate you for joining us today for this session. And of course, we want to thank all those who have been here, the attendees, for being up to this time and trying to ensure you get 1 or 2 as far as the session is concerned. Then again, one more thing I just want to share is that there will be a digital marketing workshop. We are going to, for those of you who have little or no knowledge about digital marketing, I think that's the right moment for you to gain in some knowledge as far as digital marketing is concerned. We have speakers for that. So they're going to give you insights as far as digital marketing is concerned, in fact, fundamentals of digital marketing. And we're going to see how we can equally issue you certificates for that particular session, which will be coming up from, and the certificate will be issued by the Data Group Institute. So please make sure you are on the know, and whenever the session comes up, make sure to join the session. We will announce the date when it comes and make sure to join as well. Thank you all for joining us, and see you guys tomorrow for the next session. Bye-bye for now.